If you still think there's such thing as an American dream, you get a rude awakening. I just went to Kroger to buy some eggs. They were literally $8 for a dozen of eggs. And if you think I'm lying, these eggs are literally $8, and them eggs is $12. If you think you better get a job, have kids, marry somebody, and buy a house, that ain't happening no more, bro. You're gonna have to get some type of side hustle or some type of second way of making money, bro. You can't put all your eggs in one basket at a job, because if you get fired, what are you gonna do? You have no other options. This is the main reason why I decided to be an entrepreneur, because I know like working a job is not for me. And I'm not saying you gotta be an entrepreneur, but you need to find some type of side hustle or something to, do outside of your job.
Facts, those days are over. The American dream is not possible. Not in America, it's not. You got to go outside of America to live the American dream. You got to live the foreign dream, the third world dream. Realistically, it's not realistic thinking that the American dream is something that you can do. You're not capable of doing it, especially not off of just the 9 to 5. You have to have something else. You got to have multiple streams of income. That's why the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. They need that. And this is a millionaire. It's not logical to think someone who is just over broke is capable of living an extravagant lifestyle. And I'm saying extravagant because the cost of a house right now is $500,000. You used to be successful in a mini mansion with $500,000. You could have a family, nice car, eat out multiple times per month, go on a vacation once or twice per year. Now, even vacation is a luxury these days. What can you do?
This housing market kind of feels like the most discouraging thing I've ever experienced. Let me paint a better picture for you. I'm newly engaged, and me and my fiance have always looked forward to something just like this. And then this happens. $500,000 for this house. And you may be thinking to yourself, that's not so bad. Let me show you. This home that sold for $500,000 not that long ago sold for $224,000 back in 2013. In 12 years, this home has literally doubled in price. And I can see the comments already. Well, that's just appreciation. What do you expect? This exact house with standard appreciation should be worth $318,000 today. So just so we can see the numbers, this home today with a $500,000 sale price, 20% down and a 6.8% rate gives you a payment of $3,000 a month. But the same exact house back in 2013 with a $225,000 sale price, 20% down and a 4.5% rate gives you a payment of $1,120 a month. The family that affords this house today likely has an income of $185,000 a year, when the same family that bought this house back in 2013 could have afforded this with a $65,000 income. But let's use standard appreciation. So let's say that this home sold for $320,000 with a 6.8% rate today. That would give you a payment of $1,946, in which you would need a household income of roughly $115,000 to afford that house, assuming that things went like they were supposed to go. And that right there, that's the problem. 2 teachers should still be able to afford the American dream, just like they could have back in 2013. Let me know what your thoughts are and how in the world we're supposed to deal with this. Like, follow, and comment for more.
Why is everything so freaking expensive? What happened to the American dream? I'm in the interior design business, and I'm seriously flipping out. Today, I'm driving by a house, and, I'm always checking what's on the market and whatnot. And it is in Darien, Connecticut. So, Connecticut's fancy area, most aspiring place to live, etc. But I got to tell you something. It's out of control. This is a modern farmhouse, okay? Something I guess most people are still aspiring to, even though it's become a little cliche. The white house with the black windows that look like it's wearing too much eyeliner. And, I decided, as I'm driving by this house most days, I decided today I'm going to look it up. I see that it's for sale, and I decide to look it up. It's on a busy road. It's a sprawling house, not massive. I would say 5,000 square feet. It's on a busy road. School buses are going by all day long. Cars are going by all day long. There's no acreage. There's no vistas. There's no horses, chomping their hay in the background. There's no view of the ocean. There's no, silence, pastoral fields awaiting you. It's pretty much a basic house. A nice house, but a basic house. I looked the house up. Guess what? $6.7 million. It's not even an acre of land. $6.7 million. I'm dying. What the hell has happened to the world?
What American dream? Be so fucking for real right now. People from other countries don't even want to come here to visit, and I do not blame them. If I lived in another country, I would not want to step foot here. The stain that this man is leaving on this country is going to last for years and years to come.
And I don't think the American people realize that part. I'm not saying you, I'm not saying me. I'm saying those that have a strong delusion placed upon them. You know, the Most High said that that will happen. And we're seeing it. People don't even know that this is going on. They don't know that this is not the same economy that our grandparents, our parents, and even us, we grew up in like 4 or 5 years ago. It's not the same world. People don't understand that. They just know, oh, prices are a little higher than before, and they're just moving around, going on with their everyday life. Then we got the other side. We got people taking to the TikTok. But be real. In your day-to-day life, with your friends, your family, they don't talk about these things. And let's speak on the lasting effects of this depression that's coming, these tariffs. Like she said, it'll last, I'm going to say it, for a very long time. Forever. The whole system is about to change. This is historic. This is prophecy. End times. We're in the end times. It's about to be like never before. Just make sure you're prepared. That's all I'm going to say. You know how when there are wildfires or a hurricane or a tornado, you know how that destroys a whole community? Well, what's about to happen will destroy the whole America that we once knew. America is not going to be one of the top countries anymore. It's not going to be one of the top 5. After this is done, it's going to be a third world country. Trust and believe. The American empire is falling. Babylon is done.
I honestly don't know how people 18 to 30 right now are just going to work and acting like nothing's happening. This is going to be a deep dive into the modern American dream and what people need to realize if they are young in their career right now. And if you are just doom scrolling, go ahead and go to the next one. But if you are actually serious about taking career advice from someone who has left a $300K a year corporate job to run their own business in 2025, let's talk. I just want to give you a little bit of context as to where we are at and mapping this to past trends in the US. My mom's parents, my dad's parents, neither of them went to college. They grew up in a small town, a manufacturing town back when the United States was the manufacturing capital of the world. And what happened when I go to their towns now, which is a small town in Indiana and a small town in South Carolina, there's a graveyard of factories that are completely empty. They have been deteriorating for 20 to 30 years. Right now, if you are 18 to 35, we are just like our grandparents who are working at a factory. There's a clear path. Maybe you're in tech and there's a high-paying job. You can save money. You can live a good lifestyle. But you know what just happened? And this is the same shit as our grandparents experienced is, hey, they're working at the Ford factory and it's going great. But you know what? GM just announced they're moving their facilities to China. And, oh, you know, that's okay. You know, hey, Cursor is replacing the need for engineers at tech companies. You know, some of the biggest investment banks in the world are forecasting a recession, but hey, it hasn't hit me yet. I'm making 150K. I'm just going to save 10% more this month. The same exact shit is happening right now, guys. And if you are 18 to 35, you have 2 choices. You can hold on to your slightly above average, higher than normal paying job, and you can wait 3 to 5 years until you finally get cut, and then you've got to figure it out when you're even more entrenched in your lifestyle, or you can actually start building or changing careers right now. If you have the ability to go really deep on the technical side and you understand that world, maybe that's a path for you. But if not, and I'm dead serious, guys, you need to learn how to sell right now. I don't see a path in 2050 and beyond where almost any type of job is still in demand. Now, sure, there's going to be programmers, there's going to be analysts, there's going to be lots of different, traditionally high-paying roles, but with how much software is doing, there's going to be less of those jobs available because AI is going to be a co-pilot and making those jobs execute much faster with less people. And additionally, the pay bands for those, which right now a highly skilled software engineer can still command 400 to 500K, that is going to slow down, and overall, on average, that is going to come down further and further. There is no advantage anymore in being a great programmer like there was between 2000 and 2020, where if you were the first person to market, you made the first Uber of whatever, you had a real chance of building a successful, fast-growing business. That is commoditized. I built a ChatGPT bot yesterday in an hour that automated 5 hours of work per week, and I don't even know how to program. So if you do not know how to sell, I recommend getting an entry-level sales job at a reputable company, especially if you have a solid background, so you can just understand the skills of how to carry a one-on-one conversation, how to sell a higher ticket item business to business, and or maybe you don't necessarily want to do that if you are not learning how to play the social media game, if you are not trying to build a YouTube, a TikTok, or an Instagram. Just pick one. You don't have to do all three at the beginning. But if you are not learning that, guys, I don't see a future where 10 years from now, you're going to have a real chance to compete against AI and so many jobs. So with that being said, I'm giving honest career advice of someone who has left their 300K corporate job because I built an online business that is bigger than that salary. If you want more of that advice, that is what this channel is about. And I also make tons of free in-depth guides on YouTube about tech sales as well. So yeah, let me know where you're at. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm glad he spoke on the factories. I come from Detroit. If you type in on Instagram, there's something called Detroit Yearbecks. Detroit has a presence of abandoned buildings that people travel from state to state. People travel from miles away to see these abandoned buildings. Photographers, they take pictures of the scenery. You could build a whole career off of photographing the remains of Detroit factories and abandoned buildings. And like he said, they've been abandoned for 10, 15, some 20 years. You know, the homeless people come, they strip the metal and they make money off of it. And then the remains are just there. I've been in a lot of them. I take pictures in them. My brother a photographer, so he knows all of them. Like I said previous, people don't know how devastating this will be. 20 years and these buildings are still empty. How much longer will they be empty? Some of them were so bad that they had to demolish them. It costs way too much to repair it. Nobody wants to buy them because it'll cost too much to do the repairs, to rehabilitate these buildings. So they're just sitting there decomposing. The factories that are in okay shape, there are plans for construction companies to come in and turn those into affordable housing, studio apartments. America is about to go through a complete transformation, y'all. Family, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you for watching. Drop a comment below. Share your thoughts. I would love to read them. Peace into my Hebrew fam. Shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.